Alright, so YouTube. Sorry I haven't uploaded in a long time. I've been waiting until the playoffs started to start making videos consistently. I think I'm going to start doing them weekly now, since doing a daily NBA video would be ridiculous. But now I think I'm just going to do it, since it's the playoffs, I'm just going to do it based on rounds. So I'll make another video at the end of round 1, at the end of the semifinals, conference finals, and the finals. So right now, I'm going to read my predictions for the playoffs. I know it's a little bit late, but I promise you I made this bracket before the playoffs started, so there's nothing. I didn't put any of this, with having already saw how the first game went in a few series. So let's start from the top of the Western Conference. I got the Oklahoma City Thunder at 60-22 against the Houston Rockets, who are 45-37. I predict the Thunder to take this in 5 games. I think James Harden and or Jeremy Lin will go off in one game. Might be able to take a win from the Thunder at Houston, but that's all they're going to win. Thunder taking in 5. We go down to the Clippers, 56-26, against the Memphis Grizzlies, who are 56-26. I've had the Clippers in 6. I think it's going to be a very good series, but I do think the Clippers are far more dominant over the Grizzlies than they were from last season, and I do think that it will be one game shorter, and that the Clippers will take it in 6 games. Next, I have the San Antonio Spurs, who are 58-24. Against the Los Angeles Lakers, 45-37. Fun fact: I lost $20 because the Lakers made it to the playoffs. I have the Spurs in 5. I do think the Lakers will be able to pull out a win, probably Los Angeles. They have an advantage down low with Pau Gasol and Dwight Howard, but I think Kawhi Leonard can cause them problems. He's just a matchup nightmare for the Lakers, as well as obviously Tony Parker. The Lakers cannot handle point guards who are skilled at the pick and roll, and he is one of the best. Not to mention he is a quick point guard. So yeah, Spurs in 5. And then in the last Western Conference matchup, the Nuggets at 57-25 against the Golden State Warriors at 47-35. I have the Nuggets in 5. The Nuggets are obviously, as we know, a very good team at home. They finished the regular season 38-3 at home, which is just an amazing home record. It's pretty much, highly unlikely for them to lose a game at home during probably their whole playoff run. But the Warriors are also a very good home team. So I think they can pull out a win at their home, but I still see the Nuggets taking it in 5. I think they have too much depth, too much firepower for the Warriors to handle. So yeah. So now we move on to the Eastern Conference, the much weaker Eastern Conference. First up, we have the Miami Heat, who were 66-16 against the Milwaukee Bucks, the only below 500 team in the playoffs, at 38-44. I'm sure you guys have already heard about Brandon Jennings' bold statement, to say the least. He predicted that the Bucks would knock off the defending champion Heat in 6 games. I highly doubt that. I have the Heat winning in 4, complete sweep. I think every game will be a blowout. I think the least amount of points the Bucks will lose is like 10 points, if they're lucky. If Brandon Jennings and Mon Ellis both go off at the same time, then if they're lucky, they'll lose by 10 points at the most in one game. So yeah, Heat in 4. Next up, we have the Brooklyn Nets, who are 49-33 against the Chicago Bulls at 45-37. The reason, I have the Bulls in 7. I have this because Chicago plays defense, and defense wins championships. Not always. There are some examples where you need offense too, but the Bulls have a very good defense, and I think this will be a very grinded out series. But I do think Chicago will pull it out in 7 games without Derrick Rose and possibly without Joakim Noah. So next up, we have the 54-28 Knicks against the 41-40 Celtics. The Celtics obviously do not even have a true point guard on the roster. They start Avery Bradley at the point. Obviously, Rajon Rondo is out with the ACL tear. So I do believe the Knicks will win, but you can't count out the Celtics. The Celtics have Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. When you have those two NBA legends on your roster, you always have a chance. Not to mention Jeff Green, who can just go off for monster games anytime. So I still have the Knicks winning in 6, but I think Boston will be able to take 2 games from them. Next up, we have the series that will get a ton of views. A ton. The Pacers at the Hawks. The Pacers stand at 49-32, and the Hawks stand at 44-38. I have the Pacers in 5, simply because their defense is, I believe, either the best or second best in the league behind Memphis, if it is second best. But, yeah, I think the Hawks might be able to steal one out at home. If Josh Smith has a big game, Kyle Korver sinks, a few threes, and Jeff Teague asserts himself. He's a very quick point guard, so that's very helpful for this Hawk style of play, which is running and gunning. So I have the Pacers in 5. So now we go on to the conference semifinals. All right, Thunder versus Clippers. This will be a very good series. Even though the Clippers went 0-3 in the Thunder in the season, that has nothing to do with the playoffs. I think it'll be a very good series, down to the wire, but I have the Thunder pulling it out in 7 games. I think home court advantage will pay them dividends in this matchup, and along with the fact that they have Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. So yeah, Thunder in 7. Then we have the Spurs against the Nuggets. This one was probably the toughest prediction for me, but I have the Nuggets actually pulling it out in 6. Simply because they will get 3 wins at home. Those 3 home games, they will win. So all they need to do is steal 1 game from the Spurs at San Antonio, and they take that series. So I think the Nuggets can pull it out in 6 at their very last home game of the series. Now we go to the Eastern Conference semifinals. We have the Heat and the Bulls. I predict the Heat winning in 6. The Heat, I believe, are 3-1, maybe 2-2 against the Bulls this season, because even without Derrick Rose, the Bulls know how to play defense, and the Bulls have size, and that's a problem that Miami often deals with, or struggles with. Oh, excuse me. So, yeah, I have the Heat in 6. I think the Bulls will be able to take a couple games from them, but the Heat, their star power is too much. If the Bulls had Derrick Rose, I'd give them a fighting chance. Maybe Heat in 7, maybe Bulls in 7, but they don't. Heat in 6. So, next up, we have the Knicks and the Pacers. That is just straight offense versus defense. I have the Knicks in 7 simply because they will have home court. They're a good team at home. And, eventually the Pacers defense is going to have to give out to the Knicks' barrage of threes. Raymond Felton driving into the lane, kicking out the shooters. Carmelo Anthony asserting his dominance. Knicks in 7. Conference Finals. Western Conference Finals. I have the Thunder versus the Nuggets. I actually have the Thunder taking it in just 5 games. I think they are a superior team to the Nuggets, even though the Nuggets have the depth. They have the firepower. I think Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook just overpower the Nuggets by themselves alone. As long as Russell Westbrook doesn't start jacking up stupid shots, and I'm not even gonna say it. Kevin Durant's always efficient, always scores well. So yeah, Thunder in 5. Eastern Conference Finals. The matchup everyone predicted: Miami Heat versus New York Knicks. I actually have the Heat taking it in 7. I know they were 3-1, or I should say 1-3 against the Knicks in the regular season, but then they got the win streak going. I think LeBron James will be thirsty for his 2nd ring. I think him and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh and Ray Allen and all them, I think they'll dispatch the Knicks in a very good, very close, up to the last minute, down to the wire, 7-game series. So, I have a rematch of the 2012 NBA Finals. I have the Oklahoma City Thunder against the LeBron James-led Miami Heat. Now, I think this series will go kind of the same and at the same time differently than what happened last season. I have the Heat winning in 6 games, but I think each game will be a lot closer than the games we saw last year. Because last year you saw the Thunder came out strong, so did the Heat, and eventually the Heat would just overpower the Thunder every time. I see at least 2 of these games going down to the very last buzzer. I see the Thunder winning a blowout. I see the Heat having a blowout. I see an up and down series, but not the 7 games. 6 games, Miami Heat repeat. LeBron gets his 2nd ring. D-Wade gets his 3rd. And that'll be your 2013 NBA champs. Those are my 2013 playoff predictions. I'm out.